For years, millions of gallons of raw sewage have spilled into Muddy Creek. A fix hasn't happened because the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County wouldn't agree on how to permanently repair an aged sewage pipe. Now, as of last month, a compromise is now on the table for that fix. The city gets the new pipe size it wanted, and the county gets the oversight it wanted.
But the question now is, does the teamwork that led to this compromise pave a pathway to a more functional system down the road? Reporter Marielle Carbone takes a deep dive into the problem and looks at the future of MSD.
First, it's important to understand the complex relationship between the city and the county that underlies the issues here. The county owns and pays for MSD, but the city operates and employs it. They've sued each other multiple times in court over ownership. Meanwhile, repairs didn't happen. Home. It's a place to feel comfortable and safe. But for the last 7 years, Robert Buckner says he hasn't felt that way.
Your nerves are shot.
Because of this.
Sewage water again.
My wife has final stage COPD. Any bacteria that you get can go airborne. She's gonna die.
Buckner says sewage and storm water have overflowed several times into his Green Township home. One time, he says the backup was 7 feet high in his garage, and damage topped $100,000. City records show MSD paid Buckner $55,000 in 2018 through court settlements over the sewer backup. But he thinks that money isn't enough.
They don't work together.
He says the strained relationship between the city and the county makes the problem worse. And what some see as a breakthrough, a compromise made in June to start a major repair on an ailing sewer pipe in Muddy Creek, doesn't bring him any hope the two can work together.
Because they spend more time arguing between themselves and getting stuff done, and I don't know how much money they spend suing each other, but it's a total waste of money.
Well, through a public records request, I was able to get the cost for outside legal fees regarding MSD spent over the last 6 years. Now, a county spokeswoman tells me that the county has spent between $2 and $2.5 million just on litigation with the city. And city invoices show that the city has spent about $500,000 battling the county. Now, those cases, they happen here in federal court. And back in May, Judge Michael Barrett, he issued this order, which slaps the hands of both sides and demands the two work together. So the question to local leaders, is that a waste of money?
This conflict is wasting a lot of money.
To be clear, the rates have not gone up related to any of this.
Depends who you ask. Both County Commissioner Denise Driehaus and City Councilman Greg Landsman say the Muddy Creek development shows great progress.
I think we figured out how to build more trust, how to communicate more effectively.
But so they also agree it's not enough to get around this fact.
I think we need a structural change.
Driehaus says the county is working as we speak internally on options. Remember, right now the county owns MSD and the city manages it. Two past attempts to change that structure and put it all in the county's hands have failed. Judge Barrett has upheld the current status quo in court several times.
I really do think we have to look at what it looks like to have the city run the thing from top to bottom.
We know what the city's priority is. It's their employee base and the retirement system. Our priority is keeping rates as low as possible and accomplishing these consent decree items and asset management. So we need to marry those two things.
Driehaus also says MSD customers shouldn't feel the impact of the court battle.
Cooperation regarding the structure is not impacting the sewer backup program.
The sewer backup program is what helps pay for home cleanups after a backup, like at Buckner's home.
Coming out of the floor.
In 2020, the county fully funded the sewer backup program with about $10 million. Through the end of May, MSD records show it spent nearly half of that on claims, cleanups, and prevention. But Buckner feels even this program is a far cry from the change he wants to see regarding conflict in court.
They could have bought all these houses out for the money that they spent arguing.
If no real change happens, he has an invitation.
Why don't I live in your house for a while and you come over and live in the next storm, and then you see it, and then you tell me how you feel about it.
And Buckner also has other requests of MSD. More on those and the county's response in my digital story. That's on WCPO.com. Reporting from downtown, Marielle Carbone, WCPO 9 News.
Now, MSD sent us a statement today about the situation, and they say, quote, MSD is working with the owners of about 30 homes along Muddy Creek Road to voluntarily purchase and remove those properties. Mr. Buckner owns one of those properties. These homes have experienced recurring sewer backups and flooding over the years. The purchases would be funded through a FEMA OEMA grant, which is expected to be awarded later this